Here we are, we're live at Suzilla.
Hey, welcome to Thursday, the Thursday before Thanksgiving. Yay, happy
Yay.
November, everyone. I'm Suzie, that's Matt. Say hi, Matt.
Hi, Matt.
How's it going?
It is going good. We're, about 3 weeks into our marathon session?
Almost 3 weeks. We're close. We're not quite there yet.
Yeah, because we did that kind of tail end 3 weeks because we were putting up the acoustic tiles. So we're a little bit ahead of schedule.
Okay. I guess I could go to the calendar and see what it says.
Yeah, it's
an idea.
Yeah, we're at least 3 weeks in. Next week we get to do our Black Friday special.
Yay! I know you've been looking forward to that.
Yeah, I am looking forward to that. We do it every year. We crawl in here at 4:00 in the morning.
I yet to figure out why.
Yeah, because very few people show up, but we basically kind of have a party.
Yeah, we do.
We drink cocoa. We crank up the holiday music. We decorate the office. Anyone who shows up, we work on their health care. We give them prizes. They drink cocoa and they have a good time.
We got prizes coming, and they actually should be here Tuesday next week.
Yeah, so
it's gonna be fun.
It's goofy. We're Gen X, where we had the crazy Black Friday specials, rush the doors, and we still kind of like that.
Yeah, I guess so.
And that really brings up the setting boundaries and expectations.
And that is the topic for the day: boundaries and expectations.
Well, it's kind of setting and establish them. It's looking around your office and doing hey, is it just, is this a bad school group project where only one person's doing all the work?
Mm-hmm.
Clearly there's not expectations and boundaries there.
Yeah, got me with a mouthful of coffee there.
Yeah, you didn't expect me to go that way.
Not especially, no. I imagine there are days when we both feel that way, but the fact is we're both working our buns off in our specialties.
Mm-hmm. We feed back and forth. We're working with other people.
Yeah.
Our Quincy office, and we have certain expectations.
Yes. And we set goals, and we do our best to facilitate the achievement of those goals, and blah 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 blah, all the good stuff, all that HR stuff you're supposed to talk about. Sometimes goals get met, sometimes they don't, and then that's a whole other conversation.
That's another conversation, because we're not talking about goals. We're talking about boundaries and expectations. And, customers are another way.
Yes. And because we've been so busy,
mm-hmm.
and because we don't want to burn out, we've had to set some boundaries this year. Well, we've always had boundaries, but they're a little firmer now.
Yeah, we've been firming up. It's like, yeah, you probably won't get us on the phone on the first ring, because usually we're with a client.
Mm-hmm. And walking in, we'll get you, hey, great, let's set an appointment. Most of the time, we've had some few cases where we've been able to take care of someone. Oh yeah, and we'll stretch our boundaries.
We've stretched our boundaries, got out. We've set appointments off after hours.
Yeah, and we're willing to be flexible.
Yeah, but when we show our team members our schedules, it's like, that's crazy.
It is crazy.
Because we're going 7 days a week, and often every single moment is filled with someone getting help, mm-hmm. which is, by design, that's what we wanted.
Exactly. 30 to 60-minute increments from 9 a.m. to 5 or 6 p.m. We're usually in the office shortly before 8, so it gives us a couple of minutes to set up and decompress. And then we try and get out of here as 5-ish, just because we don't want to burn ourselves out.
Oh, yeah. And one of our things we have as an expectation for our clients, mm-hmm. is if when someone calls, they leave a message.
Yes, and we've been working very hard to communicate that with our people.
And we've actually taken it a step further this year. Mm-hmm. And if someone doesn't leave a message,
we have a response to them.
We
can send them a text message saying, "Hey, you called and didn't leave a message. How can we help you? Here's our calendar link."
Exactly, because we want to be proactive, because it's one of those things that people have this expectation of calling and getting someone.
Mm-hmm.
And in this day and age, that's really difficult to do on a reasonable basis if the office is entirely busy. So that's one of those, expectations, reach out.
We had to reshift the expectations on that one.
Mm-hmm.
And our clients seem to be understanding. We make it easy to leave a message.
Yeah.
And if we get back to people same day, unless they're calling at like 6:00 at night.
Yeah.
There's a boundary.
There's a boundary. If I had, Quincy call us, and it was after hours, personal cell phone, and to ask about what's how do you enroll, hypothetical training questions.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked him, okay, are you on fire, or is the Russian mafia chasing you?
No.
And the answer was no. And then I was like, why are you calling me at 7:00 at night then on my personal phone? This can wait. Mm-hmm. And the thing is we laugh about it. And I saw him yesterday. And it's like, yeah. And you'll remember that question the rest of your life.
And if it's an emergency, yeah, call us. It's fine. But if it's not, it can usually wait a little bit. We get a lot of folks who they've gotten home from work and they know they're not going to get a hold of us and they want to leave a message. Mm-hmm. We always surprise them if we do answer them.
Oh, yeah.
I'm more inclined to answer a text if I'm at home than I am a phone call. Mm-hmm. Just because it's usually, hey, can I make an appointment? Yeah, here's our calendar. And then that's an expedited thing. And it doesn't take much effort anyway. When we get a call or a text in our system, my phone beeps.
Oh, yeah.
I get a notification every time there's a message left or every time of any kind. Okay? So I know that something's come in. Mm-hmm. And you hear it from
Yeah, I can hear the Roger.
Yeah, Roger, and the beep, and the other one, the beep or whatever it is.
Yeah.
I've got two of them.
Mm-hmm.
And that triggers Matt also to take a look and see if we're in working hours to see if there's something he can do to help. He's been a champ because I've been face to face very constantly during the day.
Yeah.
And Matt's been working on everything else, literally, and been just, I can't give him enough credit for keeping up on the messages. And I appreciate it so very, very much. I want to let you know that publicly, my love, that thank you for that.
Well, you're welcome. It's one of those things. It's you. There are things that I cannot do to alleviate her job. One of them is Medicare. Mm-hmm. However, playing the phone answer and doing some of the other things, I do my best to take the stress off of her. There's been points where, I think last week, where I kind of ran in the office and basically threw a burrito at her to eat.
He literally threw a burrito at me. He ran to Taco Time, he grabbed lunch, and he threw me my food and shoved his down his neck. The minute, about 2 seconds after he dropped off my food, my next client came in, so I ate a lukewarm burrito about 40 minutes later.
Yeah, but you had.
But I had a burrito to eat.
You had food to eat, and that's one of those we work a crazy schedule being small business owners.
Yes, which if you're a small business owner, you can relate.
Because there's no one to relieve you.
Mm-mm.
There's no one there if you get sick and you shut down or you're closed for the day. So you take care of your health the best you can. Mm-hmm. And that's part of the job that you sign up for. It's one of the reasons why we made sure, we got vaccinated.
Oh yeah.
Just point blank. It's, as soon as the CDC said, hey, do mask protocols, we did mask protocols. We got big old signs on the door.
Yep.
And we still fight people.
Yeah, we do.
And because they have an expectation that they can do whatever they want, And we have to remind them that we take care of people of all levels of health.
Mm-hmm.
We have to be responsible in our workspace.
Mm-hmm.
For people who don't like masks and vaccination, we have other methods of communication.
We can absolutely accommodate that. We've got phone calls, we've got video chats. There's definitely ways to get things done without being a face-to-face visit.
Yeah, we set that up years ago.
Oh yeah, we were just being psychic again. You were.
I guess I was, because we were pressed that year to go fully north into Okanagan,
and we're still working on that.
And we're still working on that, a little bit slower.
Yeah, but we're still making it work.
Mm-hmm.
We got a lot of folks up that are away from the easily to achieve. We're out of the Wenatchee Valley. We get a lot of phone calls, a lot of video chats from just people who are in Wenatchee and East Wenatchee.
Mm-hmm.
More often it's from folks in Chelan and Leavenworth, especially during the winter because traveling is not as easy.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're in Moses Lake or Waterville, it's great for Waterville.
Oh, we've got because the canyon gets shut down on a regular basis.
That was awesome last year. Because people were literally trapped.
Yeah, we've got a map that's kind of incredible for us, just focusing in north central Washington. Word of mouth and social media has kind of spread the Suzie-ness around the state. So yeah, there are points all over the state that we've helped people, and some people are kind of surprised at that. It's like, well, can you help me if I'm in Sequim? It's like, yes, we've got a few customers in Sequim.
Yeah.
And
in Spokane, yes, we can.
But that's some of the customers asking for, well, what can you help with? Mm-hmm. And when we get that question, it's just like, yeah, we focus on life and health, and Medicare, and we're upfront and honest about that. Yeah, we've got travel, dental, and vision, and some of the other things. We try to focus on the living aspects. We got friends and associates that work on other insurance.
That's right, and we'll do hot referrals.
Oh yeah.
For them, we will. If you're out of state or moving out of state, we'll refer you to a broker or an agent that we know that is licensed in the state you're going to.
Mm-hmm. We've done that before.
That's you, Mike.
We've also got financial planners.
Yes,
got
you, Joe, among others.
And there are points where we do that. You need to talk with your financial planner.
Yeah, absolutely. Or you need to talk with your
tax person. You need to talk with your doctor.
Yes. Talk to your doctor. Talk to your tax expert.
Mm-hmm.
Talk to your financial planner. Talk to Social Security.
Mm-hmm.
There are times I can answer a lot of questions, and I have done a lot of different things. There are things I do not have access to.
Well,
and that's okay. I'm not supposed to.
Yeah, it's perfectly okay for you to set boundaries and have experts,
mm-hmm.
and that's part of boundaries is acknowledging I'm not an expert in that. You should go see an expert in that. Mm-hmm. I had it was a Facebook question the other day. Someone asked, "Is all the auto insurance in Washington State going up like 50% next start of next year?"
Probably not, but that's not really our expertise.
You've been
doing the research, and it was the tax, the credit break thing that would happen in June.
It was no.
You talked about it enough.
I've talked about it enough, but what it is a lingering craziness. Okay. And I'm going to point it as a lingering craziness of people putting panic out there. And the only reason that there's panic out there is because they don't have any experts in their life.
So they listen. Yeah. So they go on the internet and they listen to people on Facebook and Reddit and Twitter and Parler and all the social medias and pretty much get sucked into the morass that is social media. And without actually getting their questions answered.
They get entered into the Thunderdome of their own mind.
There you go.
And no one exits.
awfully difficult when that happens.
Yeah, because I had one person on there say that oh yeah, I don't listen to any news. I've plugged out, and they were one of the first people out there. It's like, yes, it's all in raising, and it's just like, actually, it was I'm not in the industry, and I don't listen. I don't watch the news.
I don't pay attention to the news, but I know for a fact it's going to go up.
Exactly, and
how do you know this? I mean, we're not saying that there aren't some people out there that can answer your questions on Reddit. And
yeah, there are some very
sharp cookies.
However, to equate, someone, some rando stranger mm-hmm. as an expert is like trusting a rando stranger in a van that's offering you candy.
There you go. So what you can do, and this is as long as you respect the boundaries, if you do have a question and you have pitched it to the internet mm-hmm. and you do have some thoughts about it and you want confirmation mm-hmm. or accurate information, ask your actual live person experts.
Mm-hmm. Well, think about the rush for long-term care that we saw.
That was huge.
That was completely huge. Now, what would that rush have looked like if those people that, in November that were looking for long-term care mm-hmm. had an actual licensed agent in their life?
They probably would have been rushing a heck of a lot sooner.
They wouldn't have rushed.
It wouldn't have been a rush. They would have been able to get the questions answered in, May rather than 2 days before the deadline.
Because that was, that started like 2 years ago.
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, you've got no insurance expert in your life if they're not saying, hey, if you want to do something, you should do something.
Yeah, that's true. But it's no one. Here's the thing. Having an insurance expert in your life is not that common of a thing. But if you're listening to us, guess what? You have an insurance expert in your life.
Well,
or maybe you didn't realize you had an insurance expert in your life.
Well, it's more than that. It's, I was thinking about this the other day. It's like, yeah, I don't know how to butcher a cow.
No.
But I know where to go to get someone that has got steaks that are well cut.
Mm-hmm. See, I've done a very similar analogy. It's like I know I don't know how to change a transmission, but I know people who do.
Yeah.
And so I keep my mechanic people around because, well, I can help. They can help me, and I can help them.
Mm-hmm.
If my mechanic needs to change my transmission, awesome. I'll let him do his specialty, and if he needs health insurance, I'll do my specialty on his behalf. It's bringing your team around you.
Yeah.
And that's...
Well, I don't think it's just bringing your team.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's bringing your community around you.
Well, sometimes your community is your team now.
Well, we should... It's one of those... It's not either or. I think it's both.
Well, yeah, you're probably right.
Because you're participating with.
Yes. And that's important.
You're not just saying, oh, hey, I support small business and think Walmart's the greatest thing on earth.
Yeah, that's awkward.
It's not living a hypocritical life. You're with your community, and that's part of that setting boundaries. There's points where you're going to have to say, okay, hey, it's awesome that you do that over here. You can't do that here.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, yeah, why are you coming into my office bare feet with no shirt on?
Do you need a shirt?
It's like, do you need that?
Do you need a shirt? We can help you get a shirt.
We can tell you where to get a shirt, but we're not.
But we're not going to. But if you're coming and looking
mm-hmm.
for our services, you need to respect our protocols and our boundaries.
Yeah.
And our process. It's the deal, and that's true of every business, which leads us back to people being mean to your servers.
Mm-hmm. So, yeah, if you walk in and someone says, hey, this is the way it is.
That's the way it is.
That's the way it is.
Unless they're behaving in an illegal or completely immoral manner.
Mm-hmm.
In which case, it's within your rights to walk away.
Well, I know a good one. Taco Loco is a good one.
What's up with Taco Loco?
Well, one of the things that the Taco Loco is for years.
Yeah.
They don't do plastic.
No, they didn't for a long time.
If you had cash, great.
Yeah.
If
you
you
write
had
a check, no problem.
if you had a local check, great. That was their boundaries on how they accepted cash.
Right, and it just worked well for them. Eventually, they did go to plastic, and now the original owners have sold, and somebody else owns it.
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Well, you got to give them. They just retired as what it fell down.
Oh yeah.
And that's fine. We respect your and encourage your opportunity to move on and do fun things with your life.
But that's a great example because they set this
and
the
they were very
limitations.
clear about it. There were signs on the door.
Mm-hmm. But we've been in there. We were more than once enjoying a burrito or fish tacos, and lo and behold, someone's like, you don't take plastic, and it's like, you're not from around here, are you?
Yeah. You don't know about Taco Loco.
But that's a great example of setting a boundary. They had signs out that were posted in clear and well to read, so there was no confusion in with that. So yeah, sometimes you've got to set those boundaries out there.
Oh yeah,
and put them on the wall.
Yes.
And that's one. I think one of the pushes in the 90s to do employee handbooks.
To create well-defined boundaries.
Yes.
And expectations. Yes, absolutely.
For team members, and I remember the big thing that we had was, it was what's your work expectations.
Yeah.
You look at someone offering a job out there, and it's like, oh, well, what do they expect me to do? And then you get and actually start doing the job. It's just like, what do you mean I need to know how to program? That wasn't on this resume.
Yeah, that was not what that's not what you hired me for.
And so the expectations were completely out of whack.
Yeah.
Or you look around and you got the boss's nephew snoozing in the corner.
That's going to happen.
And it's like, yeah, I didn't expect that one to be happening.
No, but again, it's expectations and boundaries, and sometimes the boundaries might not agree with what you think a boundary should be. But you know what? It's important to respect the person who's drawing the line.
Well, I think that those unwritten things is what's messing a lot of folks up, and we're starting to see people saying, hey, those unwritten things are the reason I'm leaving. I didn't realize that you were going to throw me under the bus.
Mm-hmm. Oh, you're on the whole, everyone, the grand resignation.
The grand resignation.
Yeah, I mean, and why people aren't going back. It's like, you were, I hired on to work, 40 hours a week, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Mm-hmm.
And I am working constantly overtime. You're always asking me to come in on my off shift. You're always blah, 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 blah. And you're asking me to do the work of 3 people, which is exceeding the expectations of the employee. And they're not, it's that unspoken.
It's more than that, because it's also exceeding the boundaries that they set up when they hired.
Yes.
It's exceeding the boundaries that they set up in the handbook, employee handbooks.
Assuming there is one.
Because I've been in a lot of places there weren't.
Or it's a secret for some reason.
Yeah, and it's exceeding the expectations. Oh yeah, I could just check out at 5 and not have to worry about phone calls at crazy hours. Mm-hmm. So there is some of that it's reached the point. It's like, you know what, I can go elsewhere, get treated better, get paid maybe the same,
but have a happier experience,
have health benefits,
or not, or be subsidized for my benefits, or there's a million different things. Mm-hmm. And have a better overall life work mix.
Yeah,
and that's not too much to ask for. You should not be expected to give your entire existence to your job.
Oh, that's one of those ones. It's like, what about the military?
That's not your job. That's your life.
It is your life.
But you go into that, and that's your expectations. They're very clear. This is
you could die.
Yes, they are. Okay, you join the military. If you join the military thinking you're going to go and play Private Benjamin and hang out in private boat clubs, you're an idiot, and it's your fault.
Yes, and I know a bunch of people that were that way.
And they were idiots.
Yes, and they were like, what do you mean we're going to the desert and shoot people like being shot at? It's like, that's what you signed up for.
Yeah, and your contract was very clear. Your recruiter might not have been, but your sergeant certainly was.
Yeah, you should have had a clue at boot camp when they handed you a rifle.
Exactly.
This is not from the fluffy.
The military is a different setup because it's not your job, it's your life.
Yeah.
When you're done with the military, that's different. You're not expected to go kill people, generally speaking.
No, you shouldn't be. No. That's called breaking the law.
Yes.
Breaking the law. So yeah, it's, you got to have boundaries and expectations that are clearly defined and well written. And in this day and age, it's and the reason why is because there are folks out there that will argue with you about it
every day,
every single day. Do I have to? Yes.
Yes, you do.
Are we doing this? Yes, we are. My doctor said, awesome. Here, let's do business online. It's a boundary for a reason.
Yeah.
And
it's not just work boundaries, it's personal boundaries.
It's personal boundaries too.
You don't have to write down your personal boundaries, but just be clear about them.
Sometimes you might want to. I know that it's a large portion of the population. It's greater than half. Said, yeah, if you're unvaccinated, you're not welcome at family dinner.
Oh yeah, totally get that.
Yeah,
and that's a boundary that they have set, and they should be setting it clearly. You shouldn't wait for Uncle Steve to show up with an unvaccinated, no mask, and say, "Well, you're not welcome." You should let him know well in advance, especially if he's coming in from Topeka. Yeah,
you got to give them the opportunity to succeed or fail, depending on their choice.
Exactly. Give him the opportunity to meet or exceed your expectations. And if he chooses not to, that's his prerogative.
Yeah.
And what you're doing is you're respecting his boundary as well. Respect is what it all boils down to, isn't it?
Yeah. So when someone says, "Hey, this is, we're going to make a trip in June," don't be surprised when there's a trip in June.
And don't say, "Well, you're going to have to stay because we can't give you the time off," despite asking for it 6 months prior. And don't be upset if they quit.
Yeah, because you set the expectations, and then you turn around. It's true. It's one of the most awesome examples of you setting boundaries and living them.
It was terrifying, but I loved it.
Yeah, and it gave you a story that you can tell the rest of your life.
Yeah, it's true.
It's an example to live. You lived through it.
I did live through it.
And you live better.
I do live better.
And the story we're talking about is Suzie having to... You worked there for 15 years.
I did.
I just saw the cake recently.
It did pop up?
Well, no, I've been pulling stuff for memes.
Oh.
And I wanted one of our resignation cakes.
Oh, I've got yours, by the way.
Okay, I could use that. Suzie had worked for this company for 15 years. In January, she said, "Hey, I'm going on a family vacation.
First time in forever.
To the Midwest.
In June. The end of June.
I think you turned it into writing.
I did everything I was supposed to do.
You did writing, you followed up a couple times.
With everybody I was supposed to follow up with.
Yeah. and it was the day
repeatedly throughout the time.
Yeah, throughout the time frame. So it wasn't just set it and forget it. It was set it and follow through, and up until the day that we were to leave.
The day before we were scheduled to leave.
The day before we were scheduled to leave, they told her that, oh, we don't know if we can find someone to fill in for you.
And I was working 3 days a week. I was working Saturday. I was working what, 20?
Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
And Sunday. I was working about 24 hours a week. Not even a full 40 hours. They were looking to cover 6 shifts.
Something like that.
Not even a ton of shifts.
Yeah, we're not talking, you had, and the thing is how you were able to work that, and because everyone wanted their weekends off.
Oh, I was handing them a golden chalice every week because I was willing to do the weekend shift.
Yeah, because she'd come here and do the weekdays.
I was doing 7 days a week. I was doing 4 days here, 3 days there. And I was pulling every weekend shift, every Saturday and Sunday. And that meant none of the other techs had to work those weekends. And
they had awesome help. They didn't have to do here's a floater that doesn't know anything. Oh, here's someone that actually trained people and has been in the industry for decades.
People know and trust in life.
They
did. They know and trust in life.
That could speed people through.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't find I think it was 6 shifts. It was something ridiculously low.
It was a ridiculous number. And I could support the pharmacist. And I don't think they tried to find someone for me.
No.
I don't think they even tried.
And so at the end of the day, Suzie and we thought, it's like, okay, because you stomped out. So I remember you stomped out. It's like, well, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to resign. How are we going to do it?
Yeah.
So we went to a neighboring grocery store, got a cake.
It said bye on it.
It said bye on it. Been here 15 years.
Nice working with you.
And then we went to Domino's and picked up, I think it was like 5 or 6 pizzas.
It's like half a dozen pizzas or so, yeah.
Yeah, because we wanted everyone.
Everyone could have some pizza.
Everyone, all the coworkers, all the people that were cool to work with, something, because the company wasn't going to do it. They weren't going to step up.
No, they weren't even going to acknowledge that I quit.
Those old expectations we had.
Mm-hmm.
That, hey, when I'm going to leave this place, they're going to do something wonderful,
mm-hmm.
or they're going to remember me.
Mm-hmm. If I had quit, given 2 weeks notice and left, they wouldn't have blinked. They wouldn't have given me a cake. They wouldn't have said,
mm-hmm.
here's your card, here's your balloon, go have a good life.
Nothing.
So I did one myself. I brought a cake, I brought pizza, I got sodas. We threw ourselves I threw them a little party. I put my resignation letter on the upstairs table. I
mm-hmm.
took one down to my department, took them a pizza, took them a soda, took them some cake, and a copy of my resignation notice, and I quit. I went on vacation and I didn't go back.
Yep. Well, you had to go back to work, but it's our local grocery store, so we're in there pretty regularly.
Yeah. Well, I didn't go
mm-hmm.
back to work. Yeah.
Yeah.
I shot there periodically.
Oh yeah. And we have a good life, but that was the only reason we have a good life is because you set your boundaries.
I think that's a good place to end because we're
yes.
Speaking of boundaries, I got someone coming in shortly.
So hey, have a great day. Remember, set the boundaries and expectations. There are a lot of unwritten things out there that it's a little bit harder to get back once they're gone. So hey, have a great week, and
take care of yourself. Enjoy your week, and we'll talk to you before Thanksgiving next week.
Probably. We'll try. All right, bye.